Closure can begin for an Arkansas family after search crews find a body of a missing 15-year-old. Plus, 10,000 acres consumed by a wildfire in Canada, where Arkansas sits on the risk for wildfires right now. And while you shed pounds, a clean eating business is making major gains. Your news starts now.
This is THV11 News at 5.
3.5 days after a Lincoln County teen is seen leaving a friend's house headed home, his body is found.
It's a heartbreaking end to this story for his family, and THV11's Winnie Wright joins us live from Gould, where family and friends gather to remember this teenager, Winnie.
That's right. For 3 days, Amber Tarleton has hoped for the best and feared for the worst. Her 15-year-old son, Cameron, disappeared after he was last seen leaving a friend's house on early Sunday morning. This morning, she got the devastating news that Cameron is gone.
He had the biggest heart that you would ever see on a 15-year-old child.
After days of searching around the clock, Lincoln County Sheriff Leonard Hogg says Cameron Tucker's body was found Wednesday morning in a canal less than a mile away from the crossing point he knew by heart.
He crossed here Sunday morning. We don't know exactly the exact location, but the current, of course, it was a lot swifter than it is now.
Sheriff Hogg says it would have been pitch black outside. The water was about 5 or 6 feet deeper than it is now, had a very strong current, and Cameron Tarleton couldn't swim.
The water was twirling up till today. The four-wheeler was found on the opposite side of the tree upside down.
Sheriff Hogg says Cameron's body was found in this area, which is about 0.8 of a mile from where his four-wheeler was found.
He was an outdoorsy kid. He loved the outdoors, fishing and hunting and four-wheeler riding and mud riding. I mean, that was just him. He loved it.
Family and friends shared memories of Cameron Wednesday, thinking of all the good times.
And just keep his memory alive and never forget him. That was my baby.
Remember the teen. Cameron's family and friends are gathered here at the house to remember the teen, and tonight they'll remember the boy that they called the Gentle Giant. They'll be having a candlelight service here at their house in Gould. Ladies, back to you.
A massive wildfire in Canada has caused the entire city of Alberta to be evacuated. More than 80,000 people of Fort McMurray ordered to leave as the fire continues to make its way into the city.
There's only one road out. 1,600 homes and buildings destroyed there. The fire has now consumed more than 10,000 acres.
And here in Arkansas, wildfire conditions are low.
As you can see on your screen, the entire state is in the green category.
Well, meantime, a beautiful day today in central Arkansas. Weekend activities canceled by rain last weekend, but this upcoming weekend looking nice and clear.
Yeah, Ed Buckner tells us what we're looking forward to. Ed.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're looking for more of the same over the next several days with clear skies and cool conditions for the next day or so before we actually begin to warm up. But you saw the burn ban map. There are no burn bans. There's no wildfire threat right now. We're still 8 inches above normal in terms of rainfall. Let's start you off with a look at the satellite view this evening. We have a system off toward our northeast, kind of like I thought we would, just bringing a few low clouds to east central Arkansas, but they are moving away rather swiftly, and I think we'll see a mainly clear evening. Current temperatures mainly in the lower 80s across the south, 77 down in El Dorado, 73 looks like up in Mountain Home, 77 in Batesville. So all in all, looking nice tonight. Your Cinco de Mayo looks beautiful. How about this for May the 5th? 76 degrees, winds out of the north at 10 to 15, sunny and very seasonable as far as the temperature goes. So all in all, looking good. What about your Mother's Day weekend forecast though? We'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
Right. Thank you, Ed. You know, police frequently seize all sorts of items as a result of drug investigations.
But North Little Rock police got their hands on some unique and valuable collectibles recently. THV11's Phil Buck went and kicked the tires for us today. Literally, Phil.
Well, not only did North Little Rock police come up on some valuable rides that they hope to be able to sell at auction, but they're also using a new system, which they hope will get them an even better price.
You have the 1976 Cadillac Eldorado. This is considered a collector's vehicle.
North Little Rock Police Sergeant Brian Dedrick says his department rarely gets to seize cars like these, including a 1969 Camaro SS and a 2006 Fleetwood RV.
If you look back here, it's got a microwave, cooking stove. It's got a queen bed back there, refrigerator, freezer. A vehicle's this nice, you know, it's on a higher level. We do seize vehicles throughout the year pretty regularly, but a lot of times they aren't anything like this. You know, you just don't see a 69 Camaro, us getting to seize it very often.
Thanks to a narcotics investigation that started in 2013 that took pounds of methamphetamine off the streets, North Little Rock PD now gets a taste of the action.
Well, not only do you get an opportunity to bid on a really cool classic car, but if you get it, you'll also be giving the North Little Rock Police some resources that they wouldn't otherwise get. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
The items that we want that are on our wish list, you know, we're able to get those things.
North Little Rock PD is using a new online auction service this time around, which is actually plugged into a national database, which allows people all over the country to make bids on these vehicles. There's a link to that online auction through the North Little Rock Police Facebook page, and it's still open for another 9 days. Ed, you want to bid?
I do. I'll take that.
All right, Bill, thank you. Another warning tonight after a person is out $2,000 in a warrant scam. Pulaski County deputies say a caller identifies themselves as Greg Allen and claims you owe a fine for missing court or jury duty. Then they tell you how to pay with prepaid cards. Well, this is a scam. The sheriff's office does not collect or take credit or debit cards for any services.
An Iowa man arrested for the attempted murder and kidnapping of an Arkansas woman tonight. Jerry Dean Clark allegedly tied his ex-girlfriend to a cinder block and tossed her into the Spring River. Sharp County deputies say the woman freed herself after being tied to a tree and beaten. Court records say Clark kidnapped her from a hotel last month. He's being held on $250,000 bond.
Well, next year's proposed $5.3 billion state budget is heading for final votes in the Arkansas legislature. The Joint Budget Committee endorsed the proposed Revenue Stabilization Act today. The House and Senate are expected to give final approval to the measure before taking a recess tomorrow.
And New Hampshire-based Sig Sauer Company officially moves an ammunition plant to Arkansas from Kentucky. The Elite Performance Ammunition plant will move to Jacksonville.
Well, it would create about 50 jobs when it opens by the end of the year. Sig Sauer designs and manufactures firearms, ammunition, silencers, optics, and air guns, along with accessories.
Well, people frustrated with the state-controlled Little Rock School District have planned a teach-in tomorrow following a walk-in today. Stand Up for Little Rock staged the teach-in tomorrow at St. Mark's Church. The group says it's frustrated the state isn't listening to concerns. Students at walk-ins at Henderson Middle and Rockefeller Elementary say they need more support from teachers and parents to get a better education and more resources.
If we don't have them and we're just us children doing it, nobody will be able to listen to us. They'll think that this is just an act that we're trying to play, and if we get adults to do it with us, then maybe other people will listen to us.
The frustration follows the district naming a new superintendent. Stand Up for Little Rock wants to gain back local control of the district.
Tonight, the community is getting another face-to-face with Little Rock Police Chief Kenton Buckner. It's the second meeting of a series of community meetings with the chief. He's giving people updates on crime and ways we can improve. The first meeting held Monday. Tonight's meeting is at 6 p.m. at the Thompson Library.
Well, wake up, Arkansas, and that is the motto for the National Day of Prayer in the state. Arkansans are asked to gather tomorrow for prayer, praise, and worship. This is the 65th annual National Day of Prayer in Arkansas. Tomorrow's events begin at noon on the state capitol steps. All are welcome.
Well, a hidden illness isn't stopping an 18-year-old from Dardanelle from pursuing her dreams. Isabel Berryhill was chosen to head to Yellowstone Park to photograph with National Geographic this summer. She has dysautonomia. It breaks down the autonomic nervous system, which powers the control of bodily functions like breathing.
Well, due to this, she left high school for online classes, but in turn found a life-changing passion: only on THV11.com. See Isabel's inspiring story in full.
Hey guys, you know, dysautonomia, it's very rare that we hear about that, but my daughter actually has been diagnosed with that recently, and it seems weird that the longer we live, the more disorders, you know, we hear about, and they just kind of unravel on themselves and just fall, and there's one after another after another. It's a horrible disorder, can cause all kinds of problems, including gastroparesis, which she has. So her stomach is actually paralyzed from dysautonomia. Just a horrible, horrible, unseen kind of disorder.
Yeah. All right, well, Ed, it's a beautiful day outside. It's supposed to stay this way for a couple more days. More details coming up in your forecast.
Plus, how a meal prep business is booming for people wanting to eat clean. More THV11 News at 5 coming up.
Now, weather from the Crane Kia Weather Garden.
Oh, what a perfect day. I mean, the weather is gorgeous. It's a little windy, but
it has been breezy today,
I'll
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Your hair doing okay though?
No, not really, but
how about yours? Looking
not
good.
Really. Hurry up and
not
get
really.
in, it'll be all right.
You need one of these styles right here. So this looking pretty good, isn't it? Like, watch.
Yeah, there's not much left.
I know. Thank you, Dawn. I noticed that. There's not a lot left. Live look at War Memorial Park. Thank you, ladies, for joining me out here in the breezy conditions. A beautiful day to be outside at a park, a fishing hole, any place you can be to enjoy the nice weather. Yeah, it's been a little breezy, but right now the winds have kind of calmed down just a little bit. Folks enjoying the park. I love that. I wish I was. Can I go there? Why can't I go sit in a swing and do the weather? All right, so the satellite view shows a few clouds moving through east central Arkansas. That's on the tail end of an area of low pressure off toward our east, and I'm talking about way off toward our east, that area of low pressure that's really not having much of an impact on our weather at all. So as the low pressure moves away from us, we will continue to see high pressure fill in behind it, and that high is actually bringing some much drier air in place, and you can see it here on the big picture, the high pressure across the southern Rockies. There is a cool front moving through North Arkansas, which will actually reinforce this shot of nice dry air that we have and keep us dry through the weekend. All right, tree pollen in the high category is mostly hickory and pecan tree pollen, the grass pollen moderate, and the mold running high as well. All right, numbers from today. We made it to 83 degrees when 78 is normal. North Little Rock saw a high of 78. 93 is the record, and look at the yearly surplus, 8.53. So we are in no way, shape, or form anywhere close to any kind of wildfire danger. Our burn bans being issued. We need some time here to dry out, and I don't think we're going to see that with rain on the horizon. So all in all, we're okay. 81 degrees currently, dew point 44. The wind very brisk out of the north-northwest at 22 miles an hour. Now, if you look at these numbers, I have to kind of back up a minute. If you look at those numbers with the low humidity and the high winds and the fact that we've been dry for a few days, that is a fire danger. But it hasn't been dry that long, and I don't expect these conditions to last but more than a couple of days or so before the rain really begins to come this way late in the weekend. So yeah, one thing is one thing, another is another. It looks like there could still be some drying out before the next rain chance. There are the current temperatures, mainly in the low 80s. So one frontal boundary pushes through. The winds will stay brisk out of the northwest. The air will stay dry, humidity levels low, and no rain as this high pressure, ooh, you can hear the wind, as this high pressure really begins to fill in nicely and stay through Friday, Saturday, and then leaves on Sunday. Clear and cool tonight, a low of 51. Tomorrow we'll see a high of 76 under partly cloudy skies. North winds 10 to 15. Your extended outlook shows temperatures warming into the 80s with a chance of rain coming in late in your Mother's Day weekend. Back to you guys.
All right, Ed, thank you. While you lose pounds, a clean eating business is making major gains.
Plus, is The Force with you? How you can watch The Force Awakens for free tonight. Keep it here. I didn't understand it. Your lack of knowledge on where you can watch it is disturbing. Tell you where we will next. I've never watched Star Wars. I mean, it just sounds weird. It doesn't sound, that's not something I would read.
A trending intergalactic holiday today. It is Star Wars Day. May 4th has become a day to celebrate all things Star Wars, in fact.
Especially following the release of Episode 7, The Force Awakens. You can watch Episode 7 for free tonight at the Ron Robinson Theater. Showing starts at 7.
Well, THV11 is looking back on the film that changed American cinema nearly 40 years ago. We have a quiz on our website. You can find out which hero or villain you're most like.
Well, take the quiz and let us know who you have. You can let us know on Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram.
Just use the hashtag #BeOn11.
And may the 4th be with you.
All right, well, we've all been there. You are exhausted after work. Traffic is a mess. You have nothing at home to make for dinner.
Oh, healthy may be the last thing on your mind, but there are more options than ever to bring fresh meals to your door. THV11's Meredith Mitchell shows us how local businesses are cashing in on the fresh food trend.
Well, they make grab-and-go dishes that are simple, healthy, and without preservatives. Clean eating for busy people.
At the Clean Eatery in Little Rock, hundreds of meals are being prepared, weighed, and packaged for delivery.
The reality is that more and more people wanted to eat healthy. It's just that so many places are such bad food.
A year and a half ago, Ryan Merritt McGee saw an opportunity to provide convenient, healthy meals to fit-minded people.
And we want to do macros-based nutrition, which is mostly protein, carbohydrates, and fat ratios.
The Clean Eatery began out of a food truck, and the business quickly grew to need a full-size commercial kitchen.
So not only do we cook it daily, we deliver it every evening.
A service that got the attention of Fit Factory trainer and co-owner Tyler Lawrence.
With food prepping, we're able to change their foods around, incorporate more proteins and more vegetables, decrease the carbohydrates, and control their portion sizing.
Tyler says the fun part about meal prep services is the variety.
I'm able to have fish for lunch, I'm able to have chicken for dinner, I'm able to have, beef again the next day. And the meals are constantly changing, so I'm not getting bored with my food.
Now, prices range from $100 to $150 depending on how much you would need for the week. We'll have some links to those businesses up on THV11.com.
All right, good to know. Thanks, Meredith.
There's only one Republican presidential candidate left after last night's primary election in Indiana.
Plus, details on a workplace shooting in Texas that left 2 people dead, including the gunman. More THV11 at 5 after the break. Welcome back. It's official. Ohio Governor John Kasich has suspended his race to the White House.
As I suspend my campaign today, I have renewed faith, deeper faith, that the Lord will show me the way forward and fulfill.
Kasich made the official announcement to suspend his campaign less than an hour ago in his home state of Ohio. The candidate failed to convert a win in his home state primary into momentum in this GOP campaign. He came in third in last night's Indiana primary with only 7.5%. Meanwhile, Ted Cruz dropped out of the GOP presidential race last night, clearing the way for Donald Trump to become the party's nominee. Cruz's decision came after his loss in Tuesday's Indiana primary. Trump will now likely get the majority of GOP delegates. RNC Chairman Rice Priebus tweeted out Trump will be the presumptive nominee and says it's time for the Republican Party to unite behind its new leader.
This is what today starts, which is this unification process.
For Democrats, Bernie Sanders pulled off the upset win over Hillary Clinton last night. The bad news for Sanders, though, is even after this win, Clinton is now 92% of the way toward locking up the nomination. A recent poll shows Clinton will head into a general election matchup against Trump with a 54% to 41% lead.
A shooting at a transportation company in Katy, Texas leaves 2 dead, including the gunman there. A night transportation employee was shot and killed. 3 others hurt, including a Harris County deputy. Deputies say the gunman died after shooting himself. The sheriff's office says the man had a shotgun, walked into night transportation and began shooting.
What I understand is he came into the building, said something about, you ruined my life. And then fired a round straight through the building and then started shooting.
The company is near Morton Ranch High School. School officials placed the school on lockdown as a precaution, but it has since been lifted. Well, the woman accused of driving into Oklahoma State's homecoming parade, killing 4 people, has pleaded not guilty. Adacia Chambers entered the plea today. The 25-year-old is charged with 4 counts of second-degree murder and more than 40 counts of assault and battery for the October 24th crash. Prosecutors say Chambers intentionally drove her car into spectators at the parade. Chambers' attorney says she is mentally ill.
Don't have any outdoor activities planned tonight? The weather is looking nice and clear.
Ed Buckner has more on what we can expect in his final forecast check after the break.